Are mystic and spiritual interfaces? Hi, welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Become Magical series. Today we're opening a major category of magical ability, what I call mystic and spiritual interfaces. If you've ever felt like you were able to tune in to something beyond the physical, if you've ever had vivid dreams that felt like they weren't just dreams, or if you've ever felt words, voices, or insights flow through you that didn't feel like they came from your thinking mind, this is the realm we're entering. Let's define it first. A spiritual interface is a point of contact between your human awareness and a non-physical source of information or intelligence. You can think of it like a bridge or a signal receiver, something that connects your limited, sensory-based reality with the wider, often unseen energetic planes. This category includes practices like dream walking, astral projection, and channeling, but also prayer, intention setting, and communion with the divine. These are all interfaces. They're all ways of connecting. Now let's unpack the word interface. In technology, an interface is the place where two systems meet. A computer interface lets you interact with code through a screen. In the mystical world, your mind, nervous system, and subtle body become the interface that allows your soul to interact with higher consciousness, ancestors, spiritual beings, or non-linear time. You are the bridge. History and cultural roots. Across the world, spiritual interface has been a part of every ancient tradition. In shamanism, the shaman enters trance states to communicate with spirits or travel realms. In biblical accounts, prophets received messages from God. This is channeling. In ancient Egypt, dreams were seen as visitations from other realms. Tibetan monks practiced dream yoga, Native Americans conducted vision quests, and countless indigenous peoples around the world have navigated dream space, spirit space, and the astral as natural parts of life. These are not New Age ideas. They're ancient technologies of the soul. Why does this matter now? Because most of these abilities have been demonized, ignored, or ridiculed. Not because they aren't real, but because they are powerful. Most people are conditioned to believe that anything spiritual outside of organized religion is dangerous. Yet in the same breath, they'll say, I prayed and I felt God respond. That's a channel. That's a two-way spiritual interface. Here's a guiding truth. Everyone channels. The difference is whether it's intentional or unconscious, whether it's protected or open, whether it's directed to source or left wide open to whatever responds. And this is where discernment comes in. Opening any spiritual interface requires you to be specific. If you dial a phone number without knowing who will pick up, you're inviting interference. That's why in formal prayer, you hear phrases like, Dear God, my Father Yahweh in heaven. They're specifying the line. Spiritual interfaces are not evil. Unconscious channeling is what's dangerous. That includes downloading energy from social media, absorbing collective fear, or letting unresolved emotions drive your intuitive decisions. These are all channels too, just not conscious ones. In this series, we'll teach conscious connection. The core skills we'll cover in this category include dream walking, entering others' dream space intentionally, astral projection, traveling out of body to visit other dimensions, channeling, receiving communication from a spiritual source through your voice, hands, or thoughts. But this video is meant to ground you in the framework before we go into the how. Think of mystic and spiritual interfaces as custom radio frequencies. Your body and field are the antenna. The better you care for your vessel, the clearer the signal. The more intentional your boundaries and spiritual consent, the safer the contact. These aren't fantasy skills. They're ancient tools that were stripped from you so you'd remain easy to control. But you're waking up now. Before practicing any spiritual connection, remember these 5 principles. Define who you're speaking to. Don't just say God or spirit, be specific. Say, my higher self connected to source, or my ancestors of highest light. Set energetic consent. Say out loud, I only consent to connect with benevolent energies of love and truth. Ground your body. Spiritual experiences can scatter your energy. Always root before and after. Close the portal. Don't just open and walk away. End the session. Thank the energy. Reclaim your space. Journal what came through. Build a track record. Don't trust every voice or vision without discernment. Your intuition is your sovereignty, but your discernment is your protection. The interface is not a toy. It's a sacred gate. You are powerful enough to open it, but wise enough to choose when, how, and with whom. We'll begin with dream walking next. But for now, take this as your permission to remember what you already know. You've done this before. Let's get it back. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and School of Soul has just released one of our most requested deep dives, the Magic and Occult series. This series is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who know there's more going on beneath the surface, behind the media, behind the family, behind the system. This series breaks the spell and hands you the map. The Magic and Occult series includes over 200 videos on 1. Entertainment or ritual. Decoding mainstream media as mass spell work. 2. Occult families. Spot them. how generational magic and ritual lineage hides in plain sight. 3. Occult symbolism, the signs, seals, and signals used to claim, curse, or command. 4. Esoteric symbolism, layered meaning, sacred geometry, and encoded messages. 5. Law is magic, how contracts, courts, and language are rituals of power. 6. Spells and spirits, what magic really is, and what happens when you use it. 7. Covens and lodges, where modern ritual happens and who's involved. 8. Destiny swapping, how rituals steal timelines, talent, or soul contracts. 9. Energy harvesting, spiritual parasitism, and how to seal your field. 10. The clairs, your intuitive senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and more. 11. Become magical, how to strengthen your gifts, protect your mind, and wield conscious force. 12. Miracles are real, divine intervention, faith portals, and supernatural reversals. 13. The chosen ones, what sets them apart and why they're always targeted. 14. The black sheep, the generational breaker, often isolated by design. 15. Targeted individuals, spiritual and technological targeting of aware souls. 16. Gang stalking, organized spiritual and psychological warfare. This is the most revealing, most spiritually advanced, and most protective series SOS has ever released. If you've ever felt something was off about this world, this will confirm it and prepare you for what comes next. Your protection begins with knowledge. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault.